Okay, this is once again a video on a 1993 Chevy K series. As you can see, I have 272,655.7 kilometers on this truck, and it's been trouble free ever since I bought it used in 2004. It was like brand new. A guy owned it and only used it to take his boat to camp in the spring and back in the fall, and he had bought it brand new, and it wasn't the frame wasn't rusted, nothing, was like brand new. And the only problems I had with this truck was a lot of electrical connections were corroding from it sitting in his cold unheated garage, and so I was having a lot of electrical problems with it in the connections and stuff, and I've been cleaning them up over the years to get it working. Last problem I had was the ignition, other than I rebuilt the whole front end this summer and new exhaust system. But I don't know, about a month ago I was driving down the back road in overdrive, and I was doing about 60 kilometers an hour, and all of a sudden it went into neutral. But it was an overdrive. And I kept revving the engine up, but it wouldn't do nothing. And I came to a stop, and I started to go again. I hit 25 kilometers an hour, and it would kick into neutral again. And then, so I drove home in first gear, which seemed to run in second gear most of the time. And then, now, if I went on the highway, I could start off in overdrive and tromp on it and get it up past 60 kilometers an hour, but it would kick out at 25, 30 kilometers an hour. But I had enough momentum up that it would get up to like 60, or I'd drop it down into first gear because I didn't have nothing in second, and then I would get it up like 2,500 or 3,500 RPMs at 80 kilometers an hour in that second gear, shift it into overdrive, and away it would go and shift normally. And then now it's it won't come out of, I can get it up to like 90 kilometers an hour with an RPM of about 3,600, 3,700, and you know, she won't come out of that second or third gear, whatever it's in. And I did some research on YouTube, and the only thing I could find on a truck like this was an erratical shifting, like downshifting and stuff like that. And it was the throttle positioning sensor, which is this thing right here. The video doesn't say anything about it going into neutral. They were saying that it was downshifting and being a radical shifting and stuff like that. And this goes on the side of the carburetor. Oh, let me get a better grip on it here. This goes on the side of the carburetor on the passenger side. I bought this a week or so ago, but it's been like 30, 40 below zero and too cold. Today we're at minus 14, but the wind is cold. I'm going to try and do it today and see if that fixes it. When I change the oil in the transmission, which I never do in a truck, because as soon as you change the oil you got problems in an automatic. But I had to change it because I put a used rad in this truck because mine started leaking, and I flushed the rad out, but I didn't think to flush out the transmission cooler side of the rad. And a week later, when I checked the oil, it was in the transmission, it was just black and murky looking, so I figured, shit, now I gotta change the transmission oil, because I must have been crud in that part of the rad. And when I pulled the oil pan off, I couldn't believe all the tiny wiring harnesses that are in there, like telephone wires, that went to all these little modules or whatever on the underside of the transmission. I hope it's not one of those, because like there's, I think, a half a dozen of them. But the only thing I came up with from YouTube search was this throttle position sensor. And I know on the older trucks, they had a modulator valve on the side of the transmissions, which looked after your shifting. And that used to throw it into neutral at a certain speed or do a radical shifting. Well, these newer trucks don't have that. Like my 1970 Chevy had it, my 1985 Ford four-wheel drive that I had, bought brand new, it had a modular valve, and it did the same thing, the modulator valve. But these trucks don't have an external modulator valve. Now, whether one of those electronic ones up under the oil pan is a modulator valve, I don't know. But this part was $80 plus tax for this little tiny thing, so I'm hoping that's all it is. But it's been so bloody cold, I'm going to try it maybe later today, because it's a little warmer today. So there's the throttle position sensor. I just unplugged the wire from here, and it's right there on the side of the throttle body. And it's a Torx head screw, and I just got a regular Torx screwdriver, and I can't get it in between here. So I'm going to have to find a 25 Torx bit and a socket that'll fit the Torx bit and use a ratchet, because I don't have a stubby set. Okay, throttle position sensor on. Those screws were tight coming all the way out. You know, I lose number 25 Torx. It took me over an hour to find one, and I buy them like 10 at a time, and I had to use vice grips because the socket wouldn't work, it wouldn't fit in there. So I got to go in and warm my hands up. It's 16 below right now, and my hands are frozen. So I'm going to go warm my hands up, take it, come back out, put the air cleaner on, take it for a test ride. Okay, we're going down the road here, just down off my road. We'll get on the main road and see. I'm in overdrive, and it usually kicks out about 25 kilometers an hour. Now that I got a throttle position sensor changed, let's see what it does. 25, 30, 40, 45, 50. Now she kicks out at 50. Now that off. See, she went down into second gear when I revved it up. So at least it's got it higher up. See, I think I'm in second gear there. Let's see if I come to a stop, or I slow down below 25. Away she goes. She shifted into high gear. I don't dare go any faster than 60 down here because it's pretty icy. I'm still in overdrive. It's still driving. Whoa, back end slid out from underneath. Now she downshifted. Shit. That's not it. And now she's stuck, I think, in second. I think that's second gear. Okay, now I let off on the gas and I punched it up this hill. She shifted up one. At least I get up past 25 kilometers an hour before she kicks into neutral. But she's either in overdrive or drive when I first take off. See, right? Oh, she just kicked in, but she's in second gear there. So that $80 part didn't fix it, but it made it better. Slow right down here again. pretty windy through here, so I can't really go. I'm doing 40. No, she downshifted. As soon as I let off on the gas, she downshifts. Like drive and overdrive is there, but it doesn't stay there. See, I'm at 4,000 RPMs at 70, which is higher. I used to be able to go in when I'd go down into first gear. I went down into first gear like this. I could get it up to 90 at about 3,800 in first gear, but it's like you're running in like second or third. High gear right now, in first gear. Better slow down here. She's icy and it's pretty windy. Well, okay guys, if anybody has any ideas, like I said, there's all those modules in the, when you take the oil pan off the transmission. I don't know if it's one of those now or what. I know it's not a burnt band because I do get it, okay, like you just seen, I had it in high gear there for a while, and as soon as I let off on the gas, she downshifted into second. And I've been running that Lucas transmission conditioner oil in this transmission for God 5 years now, because it used to downshift on me really bad at highway speed. It would downshift and just about put your face in the windshield. And after about 100 kilometers, that cleared up. And that was a number of years ago. Now Lucas cleared that up. Okay. As I was driving, I was thinking that maybe there's an error in the computer, so I stopped here and I disconnected the battery for 10 minutes to clear the computer in case there's a code in the computer, because it is working better, but it's kicking out at a higher speed. And on the short stretch of highway here, it kicked out at 50. Then I just revved it up and it kicked in and it went again at high speed. And then as soon as I had to take my foot off the gas, it downshifted. So we're on the highway here, and we're running. There she goes, see? She downshifted into second or third gear. And if I give her more gas, there she just upshifted now. So now I'm in overdrive. I just had to rev it up until she kicked in again, because she was in neutral. I just took my foot off the gas. See if she'll see if she upshifts. Yeah, she upshifted right there, see? So if anybody knows any ideas what it is, if it's one of those modules, which one it is, because they're expensive. They're like $100 a piece. There's like 6 of them in the bottom of the oil pan. And like I was saying, on the older vehicles, they used to have an external modulator valve that used to give this same problem. So disconnecting the battery and clearing the computer didn't help. but it's made it better. It used to kick out at 25 kilometers an hour. Okay, back to scratching my head. Okay, guys, talk to you later. Thanks for watching.